Have you ever wished you could understand what someone is thinking without them saying a word? Imagine being able to read the silent signals people give off, the way their posture shifts, the glint in their eye, or the way their hands move when they speak. It's like uncovering a hidden language, one that reveals truths words often try to hide. Today, we're delving deep into the fascinating art of reading minds, not through magic, but by understanding body language, gestures, and timeless wisdom from an ancient Buddhist story. To begin this journey, let's recognize something crucial. Communication is more than words. Studies reveal that over 70% of communication is nonverbal. What people say is often the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lies a wealth of clues in the way they move, hold themselves, or react to the world around them. Becoming skilled at reading these signs can give you a profound edge in understanding and connecting with others. Take a moment to think about the last time you spoke with someone. Did their words align with their actions? Perhaps they said they were fine, but their slouched shoulders or distant gaze suggested otherwise. Or maybe they told you they were confident, but the tremor in their hands betrayed anxiety. These discrepancies are where the art of mind reading begins. Let me take you into a story that perfectly illustrates the power of observation, a story from ancient Buddhist teachings. Once, a wise monk named Asita was meditating by a serene riverbank when he noticed a young man walking past. The man seemed cheerful, whistling a tune, yet something about his body language told a different story. His shoulders drooped slightly and his eyes darted nervously to the ground. Intrigued, Asita called out, "Young man, what burdens you?" The young man froze, startled. "How do you know I am burdened?" "I was smiling," Asita smiled back. A smile from the lips cannot hide the sorrow in the eyes. Your feet drag as though the weight of your thoughts is too heavy to bear. The young man broke down, confessing that he had been struggling with doubts about his future. This simple encounter highlights a profound truth. When we learn to observe deeply, we can see beyond facades and touch the heart of a person's reality. So, how do you begin to read people like Asita did? Start by paying attention to their body language. Our bodies are mirrors of our emotions, and certain gestures reveal more than we realize. For example, crossed arms often indicate defensiveness or a desire to protect oneself. But paired with a raised chin and narrowed eyes, it can signal judgment or disagreement. On the other hand, an open stance with palms visible often conveys honesty and willingness to engage. One of the most telling areas to observe is the eyes. Known as the windows to the soul, they can reveal a multitude of emotions. When someone is genuinely happy, their eyes light up and crow's feet appear at the corners, a detail that cannot be faked. Conversely, a forced smile often lacks this eye involvement, indicating it's just for show. Similarly, rapid blinking or avoiding eye contact may suggest discomfort, dishonesty, or nervousness. Facial expressions, though often fleeting, are equally powerful. Micro-expressions, those quick, involuntary facial movements, can give away a person's true feelings before they have a chance to conceal them. A twitch of the mouth, a furrowed brow, or a brief look of surprise can speak volumes. But body language isn't limited to what we see. It's also in how someone interacts with their environment. Consider a scenario where you meet someone for the first time. If they lean in slightly, it shows interest and engagement. If they lean back or place objects like a bag or phone between you, it could indicate discomfort or a desire to create distance. Even seemingly small details like hand gestures are laden with meaning. Open hands often signify openness and trust, while clenched fists can suggest anger or frustration. Watch for fidgeting, tapping fingers, shaking legs, or playing with jewelry, which can indicate anxiety or impatience. Posture, too, tells a story. A person standing tall with their shoulders back exudes confidence, while someone hunched over may feel insecure or weighed down by worry. But remember, context matters. A slouched posture after a long day may simply reflect fatigue, not emotions. Reading these signs requires more than just observation. It demands empathy and intuition. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Ask yourself, why might they be acting this way? What could they be feeling in this moment? This empathetic lens helps you connect dots that mere observation might miss. Now, let's connect this skill to the Buddhist principle of mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to be fully present and aware of the here and now, free from distractions or preconceived judgments. When applied to reading body language, mindfulness sharpens our ability to notice subtle cues. It trains us to observe without bias, seeing people as they truly are, rather than through the lens of our assumptions. In one ancient tale, the Buddha encountered a man who approached him with anger, hurling insults. The Buddha, calm and observant, noticed the tension in the man's jaw and the trembling in his hands. Instead of reacting defensively, the Buddha asked, "What troubles your heart, friend?" His insight disarmed the man, who eventually confessed to being overwhelmed by personal struggles. The Buddha's keen awareness and compassion transformed what could have been a confrontation into an opportunity for healing. This is the power of combining observation with kindness. When you notice someone's discomfort, acknowledge it gently. If a colleague seems tense, you might say, "You seem a little stressed. Is everything okay?" By showing that you've noticed and care, you create space for honest communication. Another essential aspect of reading people's minds is understanding the context. A gesture or expression in isolation can be misleading. Crossed arms might indicate coldness, not defensiveness. Averted eyes could stem from cultural norms rather than dishonesty. Always consider the bigger picture before drawing conclusions. Practice is key to honing this skill. Start with simple exercises. Observe people in public spaces, a park, a cafe, or even during a casual conversation. Notice how their body language changes based on their emotions or interactions. But remember, this isn't about judging or labeling. It's about understanding. At its heart, reading minds through body language and gestures is a way to foster deeper connections. It allows you to see people not as puzzles to solve, but as souls to understand. When you approach this art with sincerity, it becomes a tool for empathy, trust, and meaningful relationships. Now, here's your challenge. In the next week, focus on observing one person each day. Pay attention to their posture, facial expressions, and gestures. Reflect on what these signals might mean and how they align or don't with their words. Then engage with them in a way that shows you've truly noticed them. It might be as simple as asking, "How are you really feeling?" or offering a kind word. By practicing these steps, you'll not only become more adept at reading others, but also at connecting with them on a genuine level. And in a world that often rushes past the nuances of human connection, this skill is priceless. So, are you ready to start seeing the world through this new lens? Begin today. Observe, empathize, and engage with the people around you. And as you do, remember the words of the wise monk Asita. A smile may hide sorrow, but a kind heart reveals understanding. Your journey to understanding minds begins now. Let's make it count.